Hi, everybody. This is Kim. Welcome to the Sewing Bee. This is Dorothy's daughter, and sometimes on Tuesdays, a couple Wednesdays here and there, we like to have a chat and we share some sewing things, and we also chat a little bit about what's going on in our lives and what we're sewing. And today we're going to talk a little bit questions and answers about elastic, which is a interesting subject, but that really makes a difference to use the right kind, and what uses you might have for it that you really haven't thought about. So that's what our sort of topic is going to be as far as sewing goes. Of course, I'm always open to any of your questions about sewing in general or anything specific. And I'm also interested in your lives and what's going on and how are you doing and what's your current project. Just anything under the sun. So we have a few people here already. Hi, Kathy Ann. Nice to see you. And Elizabeth. I need to see if this thing is working all right. Yeah, yay. All right, well, it's really good to see you guys. I can tell there's a few people on here. I'm going to make these comments just a tad bigger here. It's when we have a longer one, sometimes we'll cut it off. Oh my goodness, it got small. There. Hopefully that'll take care of it. All right, so anyway, what have I been doing? Well, we had the musical over the weekend. It was fabulous. I mean, it was so good. The kids did amazingly well. The costumes all held up, including one that I was afraid of. It was a dress that was rented, and when she went to zip it, it did not close. And so I had to make a panel to go across her back with buttons underneath to hook up so that her back wouldn't be exposed, because we were not allowed to alter the dresses. So I had to alter what was under the dress. So we were able to do that just fine, and it never came apart. And thank God for black safety pins. But anyway, we're all worked out really, really well. Hi, Linda. Nice to see you. And Elizabeth, really good to see you guys. So I'm sorry for the sniffles. I've had kind of an upper respiratory thing this last couple days. COVID tested negative, but it seems everyone who was involved in the musical, not who attended, but who was either on the cast or backstage at all, and is has a little bit of something. So, but it's not COVID, so it's okay. It's a dreary, rainy day here, so kind of matches the outside. But inside on the sewing bee, we have plenty of smiles. Hi, Barbara Jean. How are you? Oh, you have some salmon. I'm not sure if that's what you meant. Maybe you meant, oh, some San Antonio and not salmon. Gotcha. I knew. I know you're in San Antonio. One of these days, I hope to meet up with you. Maybe invite you over to my brother's house or something, and maybe not. I mean, they might not want me to, but or we can meet at a coffee shop or something like that. Or maybe you wouldn't want to, but if you have the time, I'd love to meet you. Anyway, so elastic. What's your favorite use for? Let's start with clear elastic. How do you use clear elastic? What kind do you buy? Where do you buy it? I will start. I buy mine on Amazon. And let me just grab it quickly here. It's in use. It's always in use. I'm going to put you on standby for 1 second while I find it. Good thing I didn't leave the camera on. It was behind my sewing machine on the floor, so it wasn't real good. But I buy this kind at Amazon, and I like it because it's very thin and very stretchy, but it's still sturdy. And I use this to really to give strength to any gathered seam, or even a non-gathered seam like shoulders. It just makes it a little bit stretchy so that you can get in and out of things without putting stress on those seams. Now I know I did a video on the Sunday romper a while back, and let me catch up here. I did a Sunday romper video, and I showed how you could put that in the neckline to help you pulling it on and off so that you don't rip your thing apart every time you... I'm hitting my laptop screen expecting it to respond, like, you know. Hi, Dee. Anyway, but the one thing you have to do when you put it into a seam, especially there, you have to not stretch it at all, okay? Because if you do, then you're going to get wave, 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 wave. Now, I put it usually in shoulder seams of any knit shirt that I do. Now, sometimes, and actually I'm leaning toward most times, I will use like twill tape instead in the shoulders because it's a little bit sturdier, and I tend to wear my t-shirts a lot, so they get a lot of on and off, and that's just probably even a little bit more stable. I'm touching my... I don't remember what I put in there. This one has twill tape. I've been kind of going on and off. All right, Dee says she doesn't use clear elastic in the shoulders. She uses a ribbon. That's a great option as well, as long as it isn't a colored ribbon where the colors will fade into the t-shirt. You have to be careful of that. Oh, it irritates Kathy's skin. That's a good point. You could definitely be inviting a problem, I guess, then, if you did that. What you can do is make sure that the seam is then pressed the opposite way so that it's not directly on your skin, is one thing you can do if you ever have to use it. But I can see where you would probably try to use something else. Libby wants to know how we store elastic. I just put mine on my pegboard like this. I've never had any, it's unrolled because here. I never have any problem. It's just on my pegboard, and sometimes it falls behind my sewing machine like it was a minute ago. But I get this big thing from Amazon, and I really like this one because Amazon sells another one that's not so great, and I've used that also. I think I even have some back here. Let me show you the difference so you don't buy the wrong one. This one, it's clear and shiny as opposed to sort of translucent on this, but it's thick, and you don't want it too thick or it's going to be just not as easy to work with. So this is something I do not recommend necessarily. It works. It worked for me, but and this would probably irritate your skin even more than the thinner stuff. So just something to... Now, if you wanted to make clear bra straps or something, this would be much more secure, I think. So that would be a good use for this. Because this is maybe a little more fragile. I'm thinking, I'm not sure. I'm doing it again, you guys. I use my iPad for a while, and then I go to my laptop, and I want to hit the screen and make the changes, but it doesn't work. Hi, Yale. Yale says clear elastic is not so easy to sew. All right, so I pin it. I pin it in place vertically on the seam, and I just go really slow. And I don't try to put it on with my serger because I mean, you can, and I even have a feeder for it, but somehow it just always seems to not be in the channel. So I just don't do that anymore. I'll serge my seam, and then I'll take it over to the sewing machine, and I'll just zigzag this onto the seam allowance. You just have to go slow, and I pin it in place so it doesn't go out, because otherwise it'll go this way or this way and not be on the seam allowance. Um, I suppose there's probably easier ways to do it. There's probably a feeder, um, maybe a bias binding attachment or something, but this works just fine for me. I just go slow. So um, definitely want to use your hump jumper to get started and have a little bit of a tail at the end, so that it doesn't get, sucked out when you start. All right. Kathy says, I have a clear bin I store my elastic in. Each loose elastic is in a zip bag. Yeah, that's great. It's similar to what I do. I have a one of the foldable storage cube things full of different kinds of elastic. And each loose elastic is in a zip bag and in the container, and I write the size and type on the clear bags. Boy, you are very organized, Kathy. I'm not quite that organized, but I do have it in a similar situation. I just don't write the name of it and stuff on there, but that's a great idea. These I hang on my pegboard, or either that, sometimes I throw them on my cone thread hold, at my serger, because it seems like I'm getting up from my serger and then that's where I need it. So, but any place that you can find where it's clean and dry is good. And anything that's in your sewing machine should be stored that way. Anyway, so, oh, yeah, Kathy Ann, that is a great idea from Libby. Okay. Yael says she'll try with the sewing machine, but she doesn't have success with the surgery. Yeah, I don't either, Yael. I know if I could probably learn a trick or two to make it happen, and then my life would be easy from then on. But every time I try, it gets under the knife and it cuts it, and then I no longer have the elastic going through. So I just don't. It either gets cut or it's not in there at all. So I just go to the sewing machine. I use a nice wide zigzag about make sure it's not wider than your seam allowance. And then I just go slow. I pin it in place about maybe that long before, I get there. Of course, if it's a shoulder seam, you're not going to go that far. But actually, the shoulder seams I just do right at the serger because it's not that hard to hold it for this long. But for like waistbands, I usually go over to my sewing machine. But that is what I do with clear elastic, and there's a lot of uses for clear elastic. I did a video on a tip with putting in satin sleeves on a woven with clear elastic. Basically, you're turning it into a stretchy surface, and then you're able to really evenly put it across the cap. So you just would put your clear elastic between those notches, and then you would just go ahead and find the shoulder point and then where the notch starts and where that notch starts, and you just evenly then put it in just like you do a neckband where you stretch it to fit. It works beautifully, no puckering, nothing. That works really well if you are struggling with set-in sleeves. I'm going to have to stop and sip frequently because I have a real bad cough throat thing going on here. All right, so 1 second, please. You guys don't need to hear that, so I'm trying to mute my microphone. Okay. Anyway, let's see. So the other uses for clear elastic, like I said, strengthening anything. Anytime you do a knit waistband with a gathered skirt, definitely. Anytime you do a waistband with a non-gathered skirt, definitely. I would say a real good case to do it is if you have a woven skirt with a knit top. because that woven skirt could tend to pull out. So it's another thing you can do with clear elastic. And also, you know, you can do this same thing that you can do with clear elastic. You can do it with like the cotton. I have the cotton wrapped swim elastic. Have y'all seen that? Let me go. I should have just brought my elastic thing. I'm going to go get my elastic bin. I'll be right back. Okay, this is where I keep all of mine, and I know that's kind of crazy, but this is where I keep all my elastic. It's just one of the bins. So I'm just going to put this next to me here somewhere where I can grab. I'm out of floor space here. All right, I'll put it on my knee. All right, so this swimwear elastic is one of my favorite things. And actually, here's a cut piece of it. This box isn't open yet. But I buy this from Amazon. This is 75 yards. And I think I pay under $20 for this box. So, and this is cotton swimwear elastic. It is wonderful stuff. Not just for swimwear, but I like it in anything. It's soft because it's wrapped in cotton. But this might be a great substitute for you when you need clear elastic. Okay, so you can use this as long as it's not going to show. What difference does it make what kind of elastic it is? It does add a little more bulk, but it works just the same way. And I like this for waistbands. I quite often will do that. And I also will use this sometimes. Like if you have you're making a woven dress, if you want the gathers to be super even, just go ahead and use this to gather. Now, if you use this to gather, you are going to stretch it, okay? Because it's just going to be, you'll stretch, and then it'll be gathered when it retracts. So you can use this to gather your things as well. But this is wonderful elastic. It's very comfortable to wear, and this is my favorite elastic to put in garments. This goes into my yoga waistbands too, the ones that call for elastic. Not all of them do, but when they do, like the Cleo culottes, the Ravinia skirt, they all will call for that. And then I will definitely use this kind of elastic in there. Hi, Carol. This is the first time catching us live. Thank you. What kind of elastic do you use in, what do they use in ready-to-wear leggings? I believe they use just a 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch elastic. Probably not this nice, I'm guessing. It's probably just the regular, let's see. Unless it's like a really, really expensive brand, I'm guessing it's probably stuff. I have about anything you can imagine in here that comes on. I don't know where that roll. Okay, here's some that comes on a roll like this. This is black and it's 1/8 inch, but it's probably 1/4 inch. I'm guessing that's probably, yeah, here's some 1/4 inch black like that. And it's just put at the top, the very top of the yoga waistband. Boy, this is going to be messier than ever now. That's just put at the top to strengthen it and also keep it up. But that's how they keep them so comfortable. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. Libby, good question. It can stretch because it is a jersey knit cotton. So there are cotton knits. So it's very stretchable, but it's wrapped in cotton. So it does work really well. Okay. I can get you a link for that swimwear elastic. If it's not in my Amazon shop, I'll put it in there. So if you guys go to any of my videos, well, I'm not so good about putting this information on the lives. I need to start doing that. But on my regular videos, if you go to any of my videos, I have links that are affiliate links and whatnot. My Amazon store is linked in there, and you can find just about anything I talk about in there. I try to keep it updated. I don't know for sure if the if the elastic is in there, but I will fix it if it's not. Let me okay, I'm going to share the link with you here. I just got to find it real quick. I'm so sorry, guys, for sniffling. There, I believe that should come through on the comments. That is my influencer store. I am going to add a link here now on the video screen just to keep that. Too many things going here. Okay, here we go. Make this a little bit bigger font. I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes at the top here, okay, so that you can get it down. Let me fix the background of that so it's not so hard to read. Okay. Alrighty, let's see who is. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's see. Okay, my comment was the last one. I try to keep up on the comments and make sure everybody gets to see them. Okay, because if you are logging in and you're watching this later, you don't see the conversation. For some reason, the whole thing doesn't come up. So what you want to do is, is important I try to do is that I'm sharing so that you know what the heck I'm talking about. So I try to share the comments and questions before they get answered. We're getting there. Okay. All right. So I'll leave that up just for a couple minutes here. All right, so that is clear elastic and that skinny elastic. We talked a little bit about underwear elastics and fold over elastic. If you don't know what fold over elastic is, I have bags of it. See, I told you I have bags, they're just not as organized as Kathy. I need to be like you. I'm going to be her when I grow up. Okay. No, seriously, I really need to get organized. I need a sign that says creative minds are rarely tidy. I need to do it so you guys can keep me accountable. That should be one of my goals. This is fold over elastic, and it's basically elastic You know, everybody was talking about FOE, FOE when I first started using it. And I'm like, what is FOE? Fold over elastic. It's basically elastic that has sort of a thread pulled out in the middle, so that it folds easily. It just, automatically folds at the right place. So no ironing or anything required. And when you use a cover stitch, you can put this on, or I think you could probably do it with a binding attachment too. You're basically stretching it and putting it on an edge at the same time. Or I've used it opened up too for the top of underwear. But you can use it for anything. You can use it for straps. You can use it doubled to bind the camis that automatically goes into a strap. Lots of things you can do. Lots of lingerie uses for sure with fold over elastic, but even other ones. So something to keep in your mind. Hello, Crystal. Thank you so much. I appreciate that you visit my channel. That means a lot to me. I am humbled, especially right now. I'm humbled by the love I feel from everyone. I haven't been able to post 2 a week for a while because of what I'm going through. And if you just are tuning in and you don't know me at all, I have a big spinal surgery. Not huge, but anything you're doing, I mean, a tonsillectomy feels huge if it's you, right? But I have a big spinal surgery coming up in May 12th, and I'm dealing with a lot of pain issues right now. And so I'm doing my best to keep 2 videos out a week. And one of them is usually this chat, and then I try to do another one. And I have a big series I'm in the middle of that I need to finish the bodice series for sure. And I need to do this embellishing t-shirts series. So, and I'm also making the Thomas track pants from Love Notions. And I'm making those for my husband, and I'm going to be putting up a video review of those. And if you don't know, you can always get 10% off if you're one of my listeners, watchers, viewers. Thank you, that's better. Viewers, subscribers, or even Facebook group. You can get Dorothy 10, all caps, as a coupon code on Love Notions, and that even goes on top of sale prices. So, for instance, if you wanted to get the track pants pattern, it's on sale for $9 because it's a brand new release yesterday. So, it would be 10% off, and then you can also double up and get 2 men's patterns, with one of them being the track pants, and another men's pattern for 2 for $15. If you want to do it that way, and you would also get 10% off, so you get $1.50 off of that. So it's a really, really good deal, and that's all the time, sale or no sale. You can use that coupon, and when you do, a little bit of money comes back to my channel to help fund the equipment and resources, bags of unorganized elastic, things like that. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that is very helpful. It's a win-win for everybody. So I like that. I like things. It benefits Love Notions, it benefits me, and it benefits you. And I think that is a very good thing. Let's see. I think, yeah. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that so much. I am doing really well. Pain level's manageable right now, so that's good. Not doing a whole lot, but I'm getting by. And I just want it to be over with. You know how it is when you know you're going to have something like that. You just want to get it over with. And I'm seeing, that I'm allowed to climb the stairs pretty much within a week after. So if I can get up the stairs to my sewing room, maybe. I'm thinking about cutting out like a couple things so that I don't have to do that. Like if I have 2 or 3 things cut out, I can just come up and work on them without having to do all the lifting of the fabrics and stuff. So that's a thought as well. So yeah, and I'd love to know if you have any suggestions. I know some of you guys have written to me and said you have had the back fusion similar to what I'm having, three levels of laminectomies and then rods and fusion. If you've had a back surgery like that and you've had to wear a brace afterwards, I'm told for 2 to 5 months. So I need some clothes that aren't going to be difficult to wear with that. So I'd love your suggestions. I think the resolution pants are going to be really good because they're yoga waistband, but they don't have that elastic at the top, and they still stay up really well. So I'm thinking that, because they're not constricting whatsoever. And I'm going to need things that will, go on top of my brace, I hope. I don't really want to wear it on the outside. So laundry day tee is another one. So, and that's a side note, but if you have any suggestions for me, I'm open to suggestions of things I can make now to make my life easier then. Let's see. Other kinds of elastic. There is underwear, specifically underwear elastic, that is plush on one side and, well, actually kind of on both sides, but it is a little plushier on the underside for underwear waistbands. That is super, super comfortable. You could use this in a lot of ways as well. You've got 2-inch elastic, 3-inch elastic, lots of ways to use it. Goes beyond mask making. I had so much elastic. I had one of those big boxes of this cotton wrapped elastic when the pandemic started, and a girl at my church was making literally thousands of masks, and she was looking for fabric, and I at the time gave her what I had, but I didn't have a lot of woven remnants at that time. But I gave her a whole, like probably 10 or 15 yards because I had 75 yards. So I could spare it, right? So I gave her a whole bunch of yards of the really comfy cotton wrapped elastic for ears. And believe me, it was much more comfortable and sewing machine needles. So, I hope that helped her out. Now that, we know what we know and we don't have to wear them anymore. At least most of the time. I did wear one today because I went over to church and worked with my friend, who I fill in for sometimes, and she is with her mom who's in hospice and over 90 and just real frail. So I didn't want to take this upper respiratory thing to her, so I did wear a mask while I was working with her. Haha, Libby, get lots of fabric that is really soft. Yeah. Yep. I ordered some from Girl Charlie yesterday, so hoping they had some new prints, really pretty. I got like a purple tie-dye, and then there was like a chalky blue with polka dots, and there's one other one. Oh, it was like a rose-colored, really rose, white on rose pinstripe, which I thought would be really pretty as well. Oh, I did not realize that, Michelle. Wow. That's yeah. I've heard other part. It just depends, I guess, on the level wherever you are. Um, yeah, it's still around for sure. Sadly, um, they say, I don't know. There's so many different studies out, and as an RN, I do try to read them and stay up on that. Some studies say that it helps, and some studies say that it actually doesn't that much. But to me, I don't feel like I need to wear one for me anymore because I've, been triple jabbed, triple vaxxed, whatever. But I know I can still get it, but I won't get as sick. That's what my doctor said. He said, don't worry about it too much right now. So I'm not. But except I won't want don't want my surgery to be delayed either. So I really would not like to get it now. But I am happy to wear one to protect someone else if they desire it, or if I like today when her mom is frail and I did not want her to take something home to her mom. So yeah. Hello, Lynn. Nice to see you. Elizabeth, thank you for that suggestion. That is actually not the first time I've heard that. So I was thinking maybe some camis might be good. I was thinking even just a roll of like ribbed knit, just around here where it lives, so I don't have to have it up here or anything. That might even be good. But yeah, I've heard that they can be really uncomfortable. But I'd rather go through that one time to not feel like this every day. So it's going to be fine. So, and afterwards you can all just say, "See, I told you." You guys are awesome. So, my sewing plans this week. I am making Thomas track pants for my hubby. And I'm actually going to try and get those done tonight. But one of the things I really want to do is add some pockets, back pockets to them. I know my husband, and I know he will not wear pants that don't have a pocket because he's constantly putting his wallet back there, and he really doesn't. I don't know, some men carry that stuff in their front pockets. He's just not going to do that, and I know it. So what'll happen is he won't wear the pants. So I'm going to, I think, try to add some welt pockets to the back. And if I do, I might make a separate video on how to do that. So you can stay tuned if I decide to do that. That's I could. He asked me, would you just put like jeans pockets, and I could do that too. But I do think that the welt pockets would be really nice too. So might do that. And I'm working on the t-shirts for the big t-shirt embellishment. I want to make them all, so I've got all the cotton lycra fabric, and t-shirts are definitely something I can always use. So that's what I'm doing this week. Done with costumes. That consumed most of March. But they were so sweet. They brought me flowers on the last day. They presented me with flowers for making costumes, and that was super sweet. So just have so many great people in my life, so that's just wonderful. But this isn't about me. So all right, guys. So what are you making this week? Anybody? So have you seen the Thomas track pant pattern? Maybe we could start there. Let me get it up here. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Let me get it on my... Okay. Okay. Or not. Well, how come it's not letting me share my screen? Okay. That's better. Let's see if it'll do it now. Aha, there we go. These are the Thomas Track patterns. And you can see that that pattern's on sale for $9. Let me make this bigger. Here is the line drawing. Let's get the line drawing up here. As you can see, those are really nice. They have side pockets in here. You can do a color block. And they use 2-inch elastic. Oop. And you can also make them plain. My husband said he didn't want any two-tone stuff. You can also put a zipper at the hem. And those would definitely be like gym pants then. But they are going to be very attractive. My goal is to make them be almost like dress pants, but more comfortable. So that's what I'm going to try to achieve with these. But don't you agree that the welt pockets, like right in here, would look better than patch pockets? I think it would look a lot better. So, go back to seeing y'all. There we go. All right, let's see. Okay, here we are. And I missed a whole bunch of you guys. Catherine, working on a Galatia blouse from, or Gallica. Excuse me so much, you guys. This is terrible. I'm going to start coughing, and I don't want to, so I have to take sips. She's working on a Galatia blouse from Itch to Stitch. That's a really pretty one. I like that one. Sandra is making the Itch to Stitch bond shirt, adding the sleeves. Nice. That's a nice one, too. Seems like Itch to Stitch is a common theme here today. Kathy Ann is making another dress for her granddaughter. If you guys are on the Facebook group, go check out the cutest little gold twirly outfit that Kathy Ann made for her 4-year-old granddaughter. It is adorable. So cute, Kathy Ann. Libby says she can't sew at the moment. Ended up going to the hospital with a really painful shoulder. Oh, I'm so sorry, Libby. That's horrible. I will keep you in my prayers for sure. I hate being limited. I know we do. Women, we're used to doing so many things. We hate to be limited. Yale is finishing a dress from the bodysuit from Peekaboo and footed pants in a newborn size. Oh, how fun. How fun. I love Peekaboo patterns. They're so great. Carol's going to make another 5 out of 4 Annabeth sweatshirt. Yeah, those are nice. I love 5 out of 4 too. They're just great patterns. Elizabeth is making a pair of shorts for her nephew, a great deal of draw cord elastic. Oh, there's a great deal at Zinks. Okay, I'll have to check that out. That would be really good to use in the Thomas track pants. If you could get it that wide. I don't know if you could or not, but that would make a nice finish to those as well. You could put grommets and on the inside even, just so that they could, like they do on some men's swim trunks. Michelle likes my pockets. Yeah, I think it just needs pockets. And if he isn't comfortable wearing them, he's not going to wear them. Men don't wear stuff for fashion. I mean, let's face it. They wear it if it's fashionable, they like to wear it, but if it's not comfortable, they're not going to sacrifice for fashion. They're not going to sacrifice comfort for fashion. They just don't. And probably we shouldn't either. So excuse me. Okay. Elizabeth says that elastic is 20 yards for $5. Holy cow. We need to get some. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. Yes, I think they will definitely look better. Yeah, I do think pockets will make it perfect. So I'm going to try that, and I think that would be a great video to show how to put a welt pocket in when there isn't even a pocket there. So that might be, he says he wants a pocket like the Dockers. So I've got to pull out his Dockers and see if that's a one row welt or if it's a double row, and do accordingly. So, and they need to be nice and big pocket. That, you know, they just have to be big on men's pants. So knowing that, I'm going to make them be something that he will really want to wear. So I'm hoping to get those cut out and started tonight, and then you know, get a review up before the sale goes away. So, but if you like the pattern, don't hesitate. You can get 2 for $15 by combining it with another men's pattern. One of my favorite men's pattern up to this point before making the Thomas track, because I could very change my mind, but the driftwood. The dogwood, the dock side or driftwood. Driftwood is boys, I think. Dockside is men's. It's a Henley, and he loves that. He loves those shirts. So if I was going to combine two and didn't have them yet, that's what I would combine it with, because a Henley shirt would look awesome with those pants. So Kathy Ann says she just finished doing an ivy color blocked tee from Sinclair Patterns. I have to redo it because it needed a full bust adjustment. I have always done the full bust adjustment with their patterns, so most of the time they offer one, but it's possible that that they didn't on this one. But nah, they've usually fit me. Think about it. Sinclair and Seamwork. Now, Love Notion always fits me too, because I know exactly what I need to fix in there. And I'm usually involved in testing, so I've had some input, you know, and Love Notions is, you know, perfect for me anyway. So putting them aside, Sinclair and Seamwork, the curvy Seamwork ones, those patterns I never have to even adjust. So they just fit. So if you're curvy and short with a long torso, you might check those out. What I like about Sinclair, though, is that they offer it in the petite and the tall and the regular. Now, I always do regular, though, because I have a long torso. But with pants, I do petite because I have a super short rise. So top half regular, bottom half petite. So definitely I did not, you know, after deciding that, I have not had to make any adjustments. So they do really well, both of them, with, you know, kind of walking that line between plus size and regular. That's where I'm at, you know, 18, 20 sometimes, you know, in there. And I, you know, don't have any problem with either of those companies. So, and I don't with Love Notions either, but like I said, I set them aside because, you know, I am prejudiced because I'm one of their ambassadors. But like I always say, I was an ambassador for them before I ever was an ambassador, because I love their patterns so much. The first time I made the Sabrina Slim's pants, I was hooked, just hooked. So the 2-inch elastic, talking about Sabrina Slims, I find that 2-inch elastic to be super comfortable. But what I do like to do with those is just sew the elastic, kind of continue up the side seam and sew it down so it doesn't fold in half. A tip, that way it doesn't get in the channel and fold over, because it does. And it will anyway, even if you sew it, but it won't do it as much and it'll be easier to straighten out. Catherine says the short and curvy with a short torso, almost exact, real similar except the short torso. Pattern said it was a CD cup, but it was still too tight. Yeah, did you check out the finished dimensions of the pattern? Always look there too, because that includes the ease. And sometimes when we measure, we forget that we need, a couple inches of ease. And sometimes, I like a little more around my bust than they usually would call for. I don't like things to be tight right here. This is a size large classic tee from Love Notions, size large with a full bust. And that seems to do really well for me, except I usually need to do a full bicep adjustment. I didn't with this one, and you see what happens is it bunches up because it's just tight enough that it doesn't lay right. So if one thing to do is to check that out, and perhaps there's a bigger difference between your upper bust and full bust, that maybe you're even more than a D cup. I would check that and see, and check their finished measurements, and just make sure there's wearing ease and there's fashion ease. Wearing ease is a good couple inches in the bust, in the waist, and maybe even a little more in the hips. You want to definitely have enough wearing ease that it doesn't bind or bunch like this, because this is what happens. And then it looks tight, even though they're not really tight, but they look tight because there's not enough ease. There should be more here in the arms on this one. So I don't know if that helps or not, but that's definitely yeah. But knowing that with that pattern company, maybe you can just always size up. Once you know that, don't jot it in a notebook or something. When you wear this pattern company, you have to size up, or this pattern company, size down, whatever you have to do. Joey, it's so good to see you on here. Good to see you back. Joey's going through a similar thing to me with her back, and so we've been comparing notes. Oh, it's so good to see you. So what's going on in your life? What are you sewing or not sewing? And I started to explain ease too when I said there's fashion ease and wearing ease. Fashion ease is like when you need ease for the look, okay? Like a shawl collar. That's done on purpose so that it'll lay that way. Like a blouse on effect in a top, that kind of thing. That is fashion ease. Ruching, those things. So that's different, but wearing ease is a whole other thing. So good to see you, Joey. What a great day. Soon a quick something. Okay, well, that's good. You know, I'm the month of March, all I did was costumes. I didn't do anything else besides the costumes for that play. And I'm itching so badly to jump into my stash and make some summer clothes. So, and I love my family here too, Joey. Thank you so much for being part of it. I love all of you guys so much. You just don't even know. Today is fantastic. I agree. Every day is fantastic. Um, every day there's every day there's a purpose that we're supposed to fulfill, and we don't know what that is when we wake up. So it's kind of exciting if you think about it. Um, and some days you're not as productive as you think you want to be, but you know, I just think that it's okay to have some me time. I was just telling a friend that yesterday, and she's not feeling well. She's usually on the go, and she does 3 times what I could ever do, and um, she's under the weather. And I said, so you lay down and you don't do anything. You know, there's no shame in that. If you have to do that, you have to do that. Because then you're all the better when you get back to it, right? So I'm going to sew a lot for my family this spring because I don't think my wardrobe's going to be very exciting. I'm going to try to do I'll be wearing a lot of laundry day tees, maybe some laundry day tee dresses. I was thinking about the Sunday rompers dress version, it being something that I could wear over a brace probably without too much trouble. Things like that. I'm not going to. I think a lot of short dresses are going to be in my future. Oh, yes. Hi, Sandra. I can't tell you too much, but I can tell you it's more of a classic button down. It's going to have set-in sleeves and not the dolman grown-on sleeves. It's a little bit more classic than the Melody Dolman. It's nice. I'm not testing that one because I don't want to let them down by not being able to finish the test if it goes into May. But it looks really nice. I've seen some of the people testing it, what they're doing with it, and it looks really good. So I'm hoping that they finish that up and I can make 1 or 2 of them before I sign off for a day or two for my or day or two. Who am I kidding? For a week or two. I think it'll be a great pattern. There's others out there, but you know, nobody does sizing like Love Notions. To be honest, they're just um, she tests things so well. I've tested with other companies, and pretty much, you know, they just want to know if it fits. They don't want to know your opinion on how it lays or this or that. Tammy really takes input from the people who are testing for her, and really just she doesn't stop until it fits right, and that everybody, you know, there's a consensus. So if you ever get a chance to test, that is one of the best ways to learn fitting because you learn what works. It's just sort of hands on, even. I knew a lot about fitting before I started testing for anyone. And now that I do test for a couple places, I can just tell you that I just learned so much. So if you ever have, it's a good goal to have. Um, for sure. Amen, Catherine. I love that. One of my favorites too. Old Sunday school song too. So, all right. Why is that jumping? My my visual thing was jumping, so I don't know why. All right. Well, it is 5 o'clock, and I am going to let you all go on with your day. It's wonderful to get together with you guys on here. And I apologize for whatever this jerking that the camera's doing. Don't know what that is, but I will see you soon. All right. Happy sewing, everybody. We'll see you online. Check out the Facebook group. We can continue all these threads of discussion. Love you all. Happy sewing.